Many machines do not fail suddenly. Instead, during long-term operation, you gradually begin to feel that something is wrong. The movements become slower, the power becomes weaker, and the temperature keeps rising. At this moment, the problem is often not in the hydraulic pump or the hydraulic valves, but in a more hidden yet equally serious failure: severe internal leakage in the hydraulic motor. Once the internal leakage of the motor increases, several very obvious and easily observable abnormal symptoms will appear on site. These can mainly be summarized into the following four aspects. The first and most obvious symptom is a clear loss of power. Under the same load conditions, what could previously be driven easily now becomes obviously difficult to move. Even if you increase the throttle, the movement still feels weak. The motor sounds strained but cannot deliver the required torque. This is not caused by insufficient system pressure, but because high-pressure oil is continuously leaking from the high-pressure chamber to the low-pressure chamber inside the motor, greatly reducing the effective pressure used for actual work. The second symptom is that the speed becomes obviously slower, and it drops even more when a load is applied. Without load, the motor can still barely rotate, but once a load is applied, the speed immediately drops, and the movement becomes sluggish and slow, completely losing its previous crisp response. This happens because as internal leakage continues to increase, the effective flow entering the motor is constantly lost, leaving less and less flow to actually drive the motor, so the speed naturally cannot increase. The third symptom is that the motor body temperature rises noticeably. You will clearly notice that the surface temperature of the motor is much higher than normal, and in severe cases, it is even too hot to touch. The pressure energy that should have been converted into mechanical output is not effectively utilized and is instead fully converted into heat during the internal leakage process. This is the most typical and also the most dangerous heating characteristic of internal motor leakage. The fourth symptom is noticeable self-rotation after shutdown. Previously, when the machine was shut down, the motor could stop steadily. Now, after shutdown, the motor will slowly rotate for a few turns and may even continue rotating for a short period of time. Especially after the machine has been operating for a period of time and the oil temperature has risen, this self-rotation phenomenon becomes even more obvious. This indicates that the system's oil locking capability has significantly decreased, and internal motor leakage is already directly affecting the stability of the machine after shutdown. If your machine shows two or even three of these symptoms at the same time, it can be basically concluded that the internal leakage of the motor is no longer a minor wear issue, but has entered a stage that requires prompt attention and handling.